What is up, guys? Today I wanted to do an updated video on the Poco X3 Pro and ask some questions. It's been about 2 weeks since we did the unboxing video, and I've been really impressed with this phone. I think this phone is, to me, I think it's one of the best mid-rangers you can get. Now, when I say mid-range, I mean entry level. I know the mid-rangers can go up to like 400, but I feel like, honestly, if you look at the price right now on eBay, and I'll have a link down below, 282 right now, brand new. That's where I got mines from, and you can see it's around 300 bucks, and even under in some cases. So this phone is extremely impressive for what you've been getting. I've been saying Xiaomi has been making some of the best, not just budget phones, but also some mid-range phones as well. And also, if you look at the what is it called, the Poco F3, I believe that's what it's called. That phone is like this phone on steroids. So yeah, I'm really impressed with what Xiaomi is doing this year. I think they're being extremely aggressive this year. So the main highlights with this phone and some of the questions, speed is going to be phenomenal on this phone. As far as MIUI, you're going to either love MIUI or hate it. One thing I noticed about MIUI is RAM management. Since we've been doing the speed test, it does not do very well with RAM management. So if you're somebody that's bouncing in and out of applications, this phone sometimes, depending on what kind of games you open, it'll just close certain applications. And now, if you're like bouncing through social media stuff like YouTube and stuff like this, when it gets like super heavy, like if you're opening PUBG, Temple Run, that's when this thing will start to close applications out. That is one thing that I noticed. But as far as MIUI, yeah, you have to deal with some ads here and there, but to me, it's not like intrusive. So it's not like in your face type of ad experience, but yeah, there's ads like hidden in the the UI. There's applications that are on here that I didn't download. But that's one thing you can uninstall those. So I don't. That's not a huge problem. Also, somebody's gonna ask about this wallpaper. This is the app. Just type that in and it's free. They have a lot of fire wallpapers, guys, and you can see it moves with your phone. Yeah. So one of the other questions was the camera on here. So the main thing. One of the main questions is, yeah, well, the Poco is good, but the cameras aren't that great. So my response to that is that if you're a point and shoot person, the cameras are 100% fine. I think you have excellent detail here, good color accuracy. I don't see where the image quality is lacking for 300 bucks. And I think a lot of people get confused with that. Like, we're talking about a $300 phone. We're not talking about a $500 phone or 350. Like, yeah, I've seen some camera comparisons with the Galaxy A52. The A52 and this phone take very similar pictures, but yes, I've seen the A52 sort of beat it in certain situations. So yeah, if you want like the best sort of mid-range camera, you would go for an A52. But honestly, to me, if you're worried about cameras, then to me you would just get older flagship phone because they're going to perform much better anyway, to me at least. But yeah, the Poco does fine with image quality, and what a lot of people don't understand is that most people are not going to they're not going to like the pro mode in the camera application tweaking. Most people are just point and shoot and click, and you get a good shot with this phone. So I don't really see the complaints with image quality. Also, I got a few questions about the IPS panel and if I'm getting screen bleeding like in the dark, and I'm not getting it on mine. If you are, that's not a problem that I've seen anybody have, so you might want to take yours back. That might be just something unique to yours. That I don't think that's a widespread problem. And also, one of the main selling points with this phone is gaming on here. You got 120 hertz display, and no, it's not in AMOLED display. It's an IPS display, but I think color-wise and brightness-wise, it's pretty good. Pretty good looking display. I don't have any issues with it. Yes, you're not gonna get those really nice colors like on like the Galaxy A52, of course, with a Super AMOLED, but for an IPS display for 120 hertz, I think is perfectly fine. You got to remember that the A52 has 90 hertz, so this phone does feel extremely smooth. In games that are compatible with 120 hertz, you can notice the difference. But this is more of a budget gaming phone for a lot of people, since you do have that Snapdragon 860, as we saw with the PUBG. This thing blows through PUBG, extreme FPS you can play. It is just a super snappy phone, so that is one of the things that I think is the main selling point. So overall, that's pretty much it. I think this is still one of the best phones. This phone is, from what I've seen in the comments, this is not my favorite looking phone, and I was actually the sort of design grow on me. Not really. It still kind of has a awkward look to it to me, and it's mostly because of the camera. I don't know why Xiaomi wants to be so bold with this particular brand of phone, because they usually make really nice looking phones, but for some reason they sort of go with a more experimental look with these Poco phones for some reason. But yeah, so it's fine for what it is. Battery life on here has been really great as well. This is definitely an all-day phone for sure. This can last you all day, no problem. So if you are somebody that needs great battery life, then this is great for that. So yeah, just an update on the Poco. This phone is great. Stereo speakers on here are great. Fast processor. To me, good cameras. I don't care what anyone says. You also have, NFC, the infrared port on here. This phone has a lot going for it, and you have an IP rating. So that is pretty much it with the Poco X3. Just my updated thoughts on this guy, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.